and Harold always did his business during the day, so he didn't think he'd ever be likely to run into one either. "All right," Mika finally said. "You got yourself a cabin. Give me a third of the fare now, and the rest when we take off. It's a small ship, but fast. You want the particulars?" Harold considered that for about 2 seconds. He knew nothing about ships that sailed through water or air. "Not necessary. When should I meet you?" "We'll leave tonight, just before sunset. Is that too soon?" "No, that'll do fine." She nodded curtly. "We'll be east of the main airfield, away from the commercial ships. You'll see the signs, then you'll see me. Okay?" He stammered. "I think so." "Just take the steam shuttle to the airfield and get off at the last stop. Ship's called the Mermaid's Revenge. We'll be by the woods." "Right. Got it," he said. At least he hoped he did. Harold arrived at the airfield well in advance of sunset. He was the only one left on the shuttle as it reached its final stop, a fact that made him nervous. Had he made the right choice? What kind of name was Mermaid's Revenge? It sounded like a pirate name. He spotted the ship instantly as the shuttle approached. It was completely on its own out there. After disembarking, there was still a fair bit to walk. Refusing to feel daunted, Harold raised his chin, clutched his valise, and started to walk. He soon spotted Mika, who was checking items off on a list with a half-chewed pencil. She glanced up at his approach and held out a hand. He gave her the envelope with the rest of his fare, which she quickly counted. "Excellent," she grinned. "Welcome, Mr. Green, to the Mermaid's Revenge. I'll take you aboard." The ship was, indeed, small, and Harold questioned whether it could carry much cargo. There was a short, squat foredeck, and no aft to the gondola. A short set of steps led to the upper deck, and next to it was a similar set that led down into the hull. This second set of stairs is where Mika led Harold. The hallway was tiny, and 6 slim doors opened onto it. Mika opened the middle door on the right and gestured for Harold to go in ahead of her. As soon as he stepped through, he stopped dead. "Is this it?" She shrugged. "I warned you it was small. This is a closet." "Lucky for you, it's a short trip." Harold dropped his valise onto the slip of a bed and slumped his shoulders. Mika patted his back. "Buck up, boyo," she said. 3 meals a day, and once we're in the air, you'll have use of the upper decks. You'll be so in awe of the view, you won't want to spend time in your cabin. I promise you. But until we're in the air, you'll have to remain here. There's a lamp by your head." She closed the door behind him, and Harold sank to the bed. Chapter 2. When it came time for takeoff, Mika gave a rap on his door to warn him. There were no windows in the cabin, so he could see nothing of the procedure. He imagined there was a lot of wind as the lines were cast off and the engine started up. The gondola pitched fiercely 2 or 3 times, so it was probably better that he was inside. A singular gas lamp that hung from a hook in the ceiling swung so violently from the shaking that Harold turned it off and took it down from fear it would break and leave him permanently in the dark. He noticed that the rumbling never quite stopped, but the ship seemed to even out at some point. He wondered if it would be safe to leave his cabin, but Mika never reappeared. Deciding a peek couldn't hurt him.